The Panasonic GH5 is a fantastic camera. All of that power in a tiny little body.
Alright, we've done the GH5 review, but there's a product that could unleash more out of the GH5.
Now we're going to go find somewhere where we won't injure anybody apart from ourselves, because what we're doing next is incredibly dangerous.
Sorry, bit misleading. I got told we would be getting some ninja action. I didn't realise they were talking about the freaking Atomos Ninja Inferno.
Okay, whew. Just put my counterweight there. So we've got an Atomos Ninja Inferno. Look at this beast. It's got all the tools you'll need. Okay, waveform and assists. Peaking, zebra. Viewing it on here as opposed to here, it's tons better. And you've got all these options to apply LUTs. And HDR. Why do you need HDR? Explanation here.
Let's get the important bit out of the way first, HDR. Back in March at BVE, we interviewed a Richard dude to give us a brief explanation about HDR.
Now, we've all been shooting HDR for ages because camera sensors have been very, very evolved in the digital world, and we've been shooting log video footage on cameras for a long time, and that's a high dynamic range image. The problem is we've always been putting a LUT on there, color grading that, and making compromises on what we lose in the detail by crushing the blacks and what we blow out in the highlights. HDR is really giving us the ability to not have to make as big a compromise, so we can keep the detail in the low lights and have those bright highlights at the same time, but also benefit from a massively increased color space. So modern HDR TVs, or UHD premium certified TVs, will allow you to see 22% more color than you currently do on a regular Rec 709.
HDR is the future. It is pretty hard to demonstrate HDR when most people are not viewing the content in HDR. To put it simply, once you get used to watching it, you won't go back to SDR.
I mean, the benefit of viewing everything on here is that you get to see more stops. I mean, this has 12 stops of dynamic range inside the GH5, but the trouble with this screen is that limited stops, less stops, which is why you need something like this. You can expose the whites and the blacks a lot better. Whack it up to HDR. I can just hit record on the Panasonic and just start recording there. Bish bash bosh. With this, you get 4K 60p, 10-bit. Internally, you only get 8-bit with the GH5. Incredibly useful when you're shooting stuff like the sky. And 8-bit, you get loads of banding.
Banding is pretty common with 8-bit when shooting gradient objects and is really distracting. However, with 10-bit color depth, you get much low chance of seeing these artifacts.
You can apply custom LUTs to it. There's some sexy ones here. Check that out. And then you can burn it straight in. I think that looks good.
LUTs are really useful when filming on set. You can get a pretty good idea of what the final image looks like. If you want to distribute the footage right after the shoot, you could bake the LUTs into the recorder as well. The GH5 is only capable of recording 8-bit 420 and 4K 60 FPS, but with the help of the Ninja Inferno, 10-bit 420 4K 60 FPS footage from the GH5 looks amazing.
Now this takes 2 batteries, but you can swap. You can take one out and it will still be running. So you can take one out. There you go. And then you swap and then put another battery in. Obviously it's still the same battery. All without switching that off.
Power is essential for accessories like this, and Atomos has nailed it. These power options allows you to keep recording until you fill up that SSD.
Oh, more birds, look at that. We could have planned that. We could not have planned that, honestly. People pay millions of dollars just to get that kind of scenery. Shame I'm filming it though. So yes, you can't have the LUTs on at the same time as HDR. Bloody hell, what is that noise?
You know what, I just wanted to grab something to eat, but then these worryingly overly happy people got in the way. One thing to note is the fact that the GH5 has really good internal stabilization, therefore even without a 3-axis gimbal, you can still get incredibly smooth shots from this camera. I have to admit, compared to the GH5 body, the Ninja Inferno is huge, but the benefit of a large screen is that you hit the focus every single time. Through some clever rigging, the whole kit still feels robust.
But anyway, although this might be quite a big chunky thing, I mean, it's quite lightweight. It's not cumbersome. They took the wrong turning. They're trying to catch up. They went that way. Yeah. Should have pointed them in that direction. It's not quite the same effect when it's just like 3 or 4 people just banging on a little drum. So this is a 1500 nits monitor. Bright sunlight, can still view it. There's no sunlight. It's nothing. It's UK, but yeah, that's the theory anyway. Sony, you got all the logs there, log 2, log 3, but with Pana. You can use with the Sony, obviously, but you don't get the same gauge. You don't get the 4K 60p 10-bit like with the Panasonic GH5.
Surely you can use the Ninja Inferno with other cameras, but for me, I think the Ninja Inferno is born to serve the GH5. 60 FPS 4K 10-bit can't be scoffed at.
So to show you this slow motion goodness, CP have got me some CP coloured goodies. That's surely a bit X-rated, isn't it? What the hell is that? All right, stuff that. Let's just get the bubble action going. You're supposed to blow it.
No, it's not. It just works, man.
I didn't have a very privileged childhood. Is that how you do it? Bubble expert. We're just like testing this camera and I'm supposed to blow some bubbles, but it's not working. Man, that's some sick bubble game there. I'm sure this has made your day, hasn't it?
So yeah, you don't have to have an external recorder, but look at it this way. It's not just for the bigger monitor and recording stuff, it can unleash a lot more potential out of a camera like the GH5. Let's just end this episode with these lovely footages.